Hello, Gun Nation. How's everyone doing this evening? Hope y'all are doing well. Cheers to everybody. First drink in quite a while. This is Noteworthy Reserve. Just finished the bottle, the big bottle. We'll wait and let a few more people jump in here. Shows we only have a couple, actually. Got Dennis Buckner, Mike High. Hello, Casey. How are you? But we will let it roll on it. Excuse me. Our electricity seems to be working now. Earlier today, it kept going on and off and on and off, and I was like, man, I hope it doesn't keep doing that. But it did it for about an hour and a half, and now it's good. Hello, Rich B, A Dubs, Dirt Track. How are y'all? Yep. Hello, Gun Nation. Hope everyone is doing well. And I've actually got a couple of things to talk about. Excuse me. And then we'll get into my idea. Hello, Chris from the 740. How are you? And Chris is not going to have a chat this evening, so I might go a little bit longer if y'all want me to. So y'all will have to decide on that. As I understand it, he's not having a chat this evening. Correct me if I'm wrong, Chris. Hello, Bald and Curious. How are you? But I did see a new gun today. It's not new, but it's new in this name. Anybody familiar with the Strike One? And I sent the picture to Bald because he has one or had one. I don't know if he still has it. 740 no chat. Yeah, I don't. Oh yeah, that's what I was asking him because I thought he did a post that said no chat tonight for him, and if so, I'll just take. I'll do it a little bit longer if y'all want me to. But if y'all remember the Strike One, now this company, I've never even heard of this company. It's called American Precision. They're coming out with the Strike One Mark II. Taking the night off to get caught up on reloading. Okay, cool. All right, so I'll go a little bit longer. Hello, Red Menace. How are you? Hello, Derek. How are you? Appreciate you being on. Uh, but anyway, they're making it again, and I did see one with a threaded barrel today. It's 954.95 is what they have the price on it. It's a good looking gun. I mean, I've shot the original Strike One. It shoots great. Had a great trigger on it. Super low bore axis. Man, that thing is way the hell down there. I mean, I would say it's probably the lowest bore axis gun other than an Alien or a Chiappa Rhino, of course, but that's a revolver. But I mean, it's a great shooting gun, but this one has a threaded barrel, which was cool, but no optic plate. It just looks like they've just recopied the old ones, honestly. So, and if you had one of the Strike Ones, they're very difficult to get magazines for. So, I don't know. Derek, hello, Fina. How are you? Derek says he's a CZ fan, which led me to your channel. Cool. Yeah, I love CZs. I've got plenty of them. Well, welcome. Everybody, welcome Derek. Always fun to be welcome to the group. But anyway, I mean, is that something y'all are interested in, the Strike One Mark II? And I will say one thing I don't like about it. I mean, right off the bat, the way they did it is on the side, it says like P or APF on the side. And it's like they try to do a phaser or excuse me, a faded laser engraving. And it looks really cheesy. I mean, you probably can't see. I can hold my phone up. You probably can't see it, but I think it looks super tacky. I mean, it looks like somebody did it with a. We'll see. That's probably not going to come through. I mean, it looks. It honestly looks like a third grader did it. And I'm not hating, but it doesn't look very good. So I don't know. Bald and Curious said, "Yep, did a comparison on Alien and Strike One. CZ75 mags work in Strike One. That's cool. I did not know they did because I was told. I mean, I've never owned a Strike One, but I was told that the floor plate was a lot different, so it would angle it when you try to put it in. But maybe that's not true. Yep, it is Pistol Brace Felon Eve ATF Clown Show main event. Yep. Yep. Dennis, it is called. Well, it's basically the Strike One. That's the name of the gun. But now American Precision is calling it a Strike One Mark II. That's their name for it. But you know, that's true, man. Yeah, third grader is learning a trade. That's true. Hello, Brian. How are you? But yeah, so I saw that. I did not play with the trigger. That was one thing that was really great on the Strike Ones, the original ones. And then if y'all remember Archon, uh, that was supposed to be great. I mean, I think they've already folded, or maybe they haven't. But the Archon B was kind of like a Strike One, a mini Strike One. So I don't know if they sold the patent or sold out. I have no idea. I mean, it's so hard to keep up with that mess. My guy says I have a Strike One, love it. Don't bother. I don't bother shooting it less than 40 yards with it. I picked up more mags a few months ago. Had to be specific CZ mags. The Met Guards won't work well. Gotcha. Maybe that's what somebody was telling me. It's got a PO7 and a PO1 Omega. I'm a lefty, and the decocker on both sides I'm a fan of. Also love double action, single action because grew up on revolvers. That's cool, man. Yeah, on the PO1 with the Omega trigger, just with my hand size, that decocker, since it's higher, man, it catches me. Honestly, that one doesn't work too well for me. Now the PO1 is a small gun for my hands, XXL hands, but I mean the PO1 and the PO1 Omega are both great guns. Hello, Abigail. How are you? And then also, I don't know if y'all know this, but Hollow Sun is actually doing on their small pistol dots. They're actually doing FDE now. I did get to see one in person. It's kind of like a kind of well, it's kind of like a goldish FDE. I mean, it's a nice looking color, and I looked at it, to see if it was like done crappy or overspray looking or not. But I mean, it looks pretty damn good. So the one that I saw was a 407K, but it's brand new. That's the first time I've seen one, and I don't know if y'all know this, but the Aimpoint Acro P2 is actually in FDE also. Now, good luck finding one, but I would love to have an Acro P2 in FDE. They look sweet. Pistol Pete says he is late. Man, I was about to call the police. He says I'm late. I was playing with some lock grips. That's the best grips in the game, there, brother. Oh, also, Derek, if you don't have for your PO1, if you don't have lock grips, I would highly recommend them. And you can use my discount code. It's BJGG10, all caps, and that'll save you 10% off lock grips. Um, they're fantastic grips, and you can get them in the palm swell. You can get them in whatever you want. EOTech FDE, yeah. Hello, Norwood. How are you? Rose goldish. Maybe that's what it is. Ran into a lot of errands, now getting ready for work. All right, that's fun. Tanfill small frame or CZ mags, yeah. Yeah, I bought stuff from Oseg or however you pronounce it, County Guns before, but it's been a really long time. Try to find some stripper clips for Emosin so I can go bruise some shoulders. Yeah, I have stripper clips somewhere. I don't know where that. I've got them for my Mauser, and I think I've got some for a Mosin also. I've got in a bag somewhere. It's probably in one of my bins. Brian says I dropped my 30 cal can off the countertop and landed right on the top of my foot and fractured a couple of bones. Hurts like hell when it happened and still does almost 2 weeks since. Damn, that's not fun. That's not fun at all. I thought you were going to tell me like it crushed your can or something, but you know, I mean, I don't think dropping them would do that. But yeah, if it lands on your foot, it's going to suck. Oh, Norwood got him a Bull Tac 2 4.25 last week. What do you think about it? I mean, they're great guns. Just curious what you think about it. If you've shot it yet, or spent some time behind it yet. Let's see here. Bu- 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 bu. Yeah, and I want to know y'all's opinion. If you're an FPC member, how they're saying, about the brace and everything. Oh, and just so y'all know, uh, it seems like here recently, every chat I do, because I don't hold my tongue too well, but every chat I do seems to be getting demonetized by YouTube. So I don't know. But yeah, they demonetized the last one and the one before that. So maybe this one's going to get hit too. I don't know. But, smack that thumbs up and stuff. Maybe they won't demonetize it. But, um, on the FPC, they're saying if you're an FPC member that you're protected and all this other stuff. What I'm saying is if you're going to choose to do what you want to do, but you're going to say, I'm just going to take it to the range and do what I want to do. That doesn't mean that if you were in a crazy area, I don't think it would be that much affected in Texas, but if you're in a crazy area, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody called on you and then, they're chasing you down or whatever. However, I don't know. I know they're saying the FPC people are protected under that and all that other stuff. However, that doesn't mean you couldn't be arrested and go through a bunch of rigmarole bull crap, probably have fees and, all this other stuff, and then all of a sudden be found not guilty or released, after you pay all kinds of money and do all that kind of stupid stuff. So I don't know, it is what it is, but y'all can choose to do what you want to do. Hello, Floridian. How are you? All right, got some lock grips on there and some mag extensions from Greg Coat. Yeah, I bought a bunch of stuff from Greg Coat. He has a lot of CZ mags, and you can get pretty good prices there too. Love it. It has a ported slide. Cool. Floridian is in the house. If you have a brace on your rifle, you already complied. Yeah, Pistol Pete. They it's not really called YouTube anymore. It's called CommieTube. But it is what it is. It's their platform. I don't own it. You know, they are going to do what they want to do. Also, y'all know, that's why I titled it this way. I've got an idea. I've been thinking about, the other channel. And if y'all don't know, I have another channel. It's called Big J's Pit Stop. So big and then J apostrophe S Pit Stop. What I'm going to be doing on that, and I'm still waiting for some stuff to come in and all that other stuff, but I just want to see if y'all are interested in this and tell me honestly, you're not going to hurt my feelings at all. Okay, not at all. But, I'm glad that I can't remember, and I'm sorry, I don't remember, but someone helped me pick out that name or picked out that name and I chose it. One of the subscribers. I just can't remember who it was. If I would, I would give them credit again. Uh, but Big J's Pit Stop, of course, because I was stopping at places, take a pit stop. However, if y'all don't know, I really enjoy cooking, barbecuing. Did some competitions way back in the day. My dad is he's won a lot of competitions. He was on a big, big, big barbecue team back in the day. Used to travel all around. Called the Cajun Kids. They were sponsored by Mellon Energy Company. Um, that was back when we had the old it was the Astrodome in Houston. They had the huge cook-off there every year. Um, so I mean, I grew up smoking, offset smokers, um, the whole works. So I really enjoy cooking steaks, brisket, ribs, uh, pork butt, you name it, I cook it. I have some ways I do it, even versus my dad, um, that I prefer better. And where I was going with this, if on that channel, and I will do other things, but I've got some ideas about doing some cooking videos, not like 1 4 hour video, just kind of breaking it up, and then making a video out of it, sticking everything together, like maybe the prep, how I trim them, um, just certain things that I do, how I base coat them, how I, season them, trimming and seasoning and things like that. And your base coat's really popular also, or key on briskets and ribs and things like that. Also, you know, what I spritz with. A lot of people don't do that. That's kind of a no-no. When I wrap, when I don't wrap, um, how to check to see if a brisket's ready or the way that it's looking, if you need to raise it, tilt it, things like that. What charcoal I use, what pits I use. Now, I will tell you this. We don't have the big 18-foot tandem trailer anymore. We used to have an 18-foot tandem trailer smoker. It was a monster with two side bean and chili pot or chili cookers. It would hold 3/4 of a cord of wood on this trailer. Um, but we don't have that anymore. We sold that. I do have my other offset, but it's at my dad's house because it's just too freaking big. So I'll be doing some other things, but I just didn't know if y'all would be interested in that. I'm a big, sear guy also, and I'm big into reverse sear. If y'all don't know what that means, then maybe you could pick up some tips. I'm not saying I'm an expert, please. This is not anything like that. It's just some things that I do, little tips, things that work for me, and what I marinate with, how I set up stuff. Would y'all, be interested in stuff like that? And what I was going to do is, do a video. Also, people have been asking me this. I have a lot of different whiskeys. I'm a big whiskey connoisseur, so to say. Some of them are, basics. Some of them are mid tier. Some of them are high tier. A lot of people have been asking me to do whiskey reviews. So I thought, well, I'm cooking, I enjoy to have a drink or a couple of drinks while I'm cooking. And I thought that might be a good time to do a whiskey review while I'm cooking. Um, and of course, you're going to have your barbecue gun. So we might do like a little barbecue gun review and have a different gun or something like that, while I'm cooking. So if y'all are interested in that, give me your thoughts. I'm not saying I'm pressing you and you have to go watch it, but I just want to see. Bald, I told you, dude. Anytime you come down, I will cook a brisket for you. Anytime you come down, I will. I will do a melt in your mouth brisket. Yeah, that's the hard part, CeeLo. The hard part is cooking it. But I will tell you this, and this is what I've always, hello, Clyde, how are you? What I've always loved to do is, like after I cook and stuff and we have people over, I've cooked for church events, I've cooked for company events. I've cooked probably the most that I've ever cooked for, and we did it on the 18-foot tandem. Um, was about 300 people. Um, it was with my dad's company. So that's probably the biggest that I've cooked or we've cooked for. Um, I make really good chili. Um, you know, I mean, I like when you're serving the people and they're eating it and they're just like jumping up and down, or they're just like they take a bite and they just have to run around the yard. That's what I really get a kick out of. They're just like, holy crap, I've never tasted it like this. Because I do some things that other people don't do, so or that I've never seen done, and I've just picked these up over the time. Won some awards. I got some little medals, trophies, that kind of crap. Um, they're all at my dad's house in a box because it is what it is. But yeah, Pranic saying yeah, Floridian saying yeah, yeah on whiskey. Yeah, I've just had a lot of people ask me. They're like, "Man, you drink a lot of whiskey, but you don't talk about it. You don't tell us about it. You'll just tell us the name of it." A lot of people want to know what the notes taste like, and that's going to vary between people. Your taste buds are not mine, etc. Same kind of cologne. I'm a big cologne freak. Um, got several bottles, and that's kind of some people might smell a certain cologne and pick up different notes, and other people might smell something different. So, but with tasting barbecue, I like bark. I like to build the crust on it. Some people don't like crust, or excuse me, I just like, I like it the way I like it. But I've never had any complaints. So, hello, Arcs. Brisket is expensive. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And that is, another thing I'm going to be working on. Hello, Arcs. How are you, man? Um, yeah, it's on my second channel. That's what I was just talking about on my second channel. I'm going to probably do some barbecue content of me cooking. I am still waiting for some more stuff to come in. Um, so it's probably going to be not happen tomorrow or anything. Maybe not this weekend. Maybe not next weekend. But it's definitely coming. But also, I was going to have some guests over, and what I figured we would do, uh, I've got, for example, my best friend in the world. I have known him for, we've been best friends, gosh, shit, 46 years. Yeah, 40, I think 46 years. 46 years, my best friend in the world. Um, I even thought about having him over and doing a little discussion about what we did when we were younger, uh, because we used to race cars, cruise up and down University, do some pretty crazy stuff. So just kind of little fun stories. A lot of people might want to hear stuff like that. I just thought that might be kind of fun. Uh, but that's kind of what I was having in mind, to where it's just more open. It's not, hey, here's the hardcore chat, or guns. It's just kind of letting loose, um, and just having some friendly conversations. But um, back in the day when we used to do all of our competition cooking, and I still buy meat there to this day. Um, it is a local meat market. I buy a lot of meat from them, or and have in the past. So as my parents, my dad, we used to buy it all there. Maybe talking to him about maybe throwing out the name of his company and all of that stuff. To where maybe he could help me out with some of the meat, because as we all know, this is super super expensive. Um, I don't know if he would agree to it. Because like I said, meat's not cheap, but I know I could bring him some business too. I mean, he does. He will cut it any way you want it. So I've had T-bones literally that thick. I mean, 2.5 inch T-bones. He'll cut it any way you want. He'll trim it any way you want, and he's got really, really, really good meat. Also aged. If you go in there and you say, "I want to see the special stuff," He will take you to the back where he's got aged. And whew, man. Yep. Yep, yep, yep. Burn ins. Yep. Burn ins. I mean, I make some good food. And who knows? Maybe if this takes off and gets super popular, maybe we could do I have one grill that's somewhat portable. Um, Maybe we could do a cook or something somewhere, and you know, people could come. Who knows? I don't have the big boy anymore. We don't have the big trailer, but and that would definitely take sponsorship to get all that kind of meat. And that's the thing, Rich B. It is not difficult to get the basics down, and you don't need $8,000 and $10,000 grills to do this. Now I've got some expensive ones, but or have but you don't need that, and that's kind of what I'm going to show. Um, I've ordered some that are pretty basic, and but you would be surprised at the results. So that's kind of what I'm going to go over. This is not, this would be very budget friendly for somebody who's trying to get into it, and anybody can do it. The only thing you have to do is just step out there. That's all you have to do. I use different types of woods or wood that I add to, even if I use a certain type of charcoal, certain types of wood for different types of food. Um, different rubs. Some I make myself, SPGs. If y'all don't know what that is, SPG is short for salt, pepper, garlic. So when you say SPG, that's what it means. Uh, you know, it's fun. Pellet grills. Yeah, I've dabbled in them before. I have friends who have them. There's some things I kind of like about them. If you're wanting a very convenient cook that anybody can do, pellet is definitely easy. The only thing is, and you can trick them or trick them out to give you good smoke and all that other stuff like Traegers and stuff. And some have sear gates where you can open up the gate and sear your steak. But that's not the way that I like to do it. I'm not saying anything's wrong with them. They cook good, but I really like to build up the rings and really smoke them. Worn the same cologne since my wife and I started dating in high school. Now looking for a new one as it does not smell the same since our smell got jacked up thanks to COVID. Um, and that's the thing. I'm big into cologne. Um, I use Creed. I don't know if you're familiar with Creed. It's not cheap. It's very expensive, but Creed Silver Mountain Water, Creed Artemis. I love Creed. Also have some David Letterman or David. God, what is the name of it? I got two bottles of it when I was in Dubai, and it is cologne. So it is not Toilette, where it's mixed with alcohol. It's the real stuff. But yeah, I mean, you can get even some good cologne, relatively inexpensive. The one I'm wearing today that I have on right now, it smells awesome. It's called Bourbon and Oak. So you actually smell the bourbon and you actually smell oak. Um, so it's pretty strong, but it's a bourbon and oak blend. I have some tobacco blends. Some cologne I've even had mixed for me. So they test it on your skin and then they blend it. It's pretty cool. Yeah, green eggs are awesome. They work very, very well. They are a beast, though. They're freaking heavy. And you don't have to have a green egg to do what I'm going to do. You could actually have a Weber kettle. I mean, you know, yeah, meat is expensive, man. Yeah, Floridian, that's kind of what I was going to talk to him about. Like I said, I've known him. God, man, we've been buying meat there since I was shit, like 12. So, and it was a father and son, and they own it. It's got a father, and I think there's three sons, and their sons even work there. I mean, it's a really cool place. But now they've gotten so big that they had to actually get out of their smaller store or their hometown store, and now they've opened up a bigger store, but they still have the same service and everything. So yeah, and that would be great, to kind of take you around and show you the sneak peek of the food. If and that's the thing about it. They're FDA and all that other crap, so they can't just let you go back there and start willy nilly and all the meat. But he was always really good about letting us do that. And it would be cool to interview him and actually even showing him butchering some meat. That would be kind of cool, or cutting it the way that people want it. Tim is saying, I have a room out here in Rusk. Would be glad to have the BJGG crowd out here with you doing the barbecue. Hey, that'd be awesome, man. And maybe we could set up something like that later on. Yeah, and that's the thing, Pistol Pete, man. When I get out there, and this is another thing that I really enjoy doing. I really like making, and they're not like hugely gourmet, but I've got some appetizers that I make, like while people are waiting, because I run multiple grills, and I'll have like the appetizers on one grill going, and then I'll prep those, grill them, get those out for people to eat, and da da da. But I make some really really killer appetizers. I'll give you a hint on one. I do a special sausage. It is. I'm not going to tell you the sausage because I want it to be a surprise, but I do a special kind of sausage, and it's like the rolled, the half coil or the coil sausage. I do it a certain way, and I have him make it a certain way, and then I'll take a big jalapeno, like a monster jalapeno, cut it in half, gut it out, um, pack it with cream cheese, and you can do it a couple of different ways. Pack it with cream cheese, and then I take that sausage and I'll cut off a piece about that big, and then I'll cut it from the top into fourths, so it's like a long, fourth piece, if y'all can imagine that. Stuff it in the cream cheese, wrap it with bacon and a special kind of bacon, not just at the store bacon, special kind of bacon. Wrap it, and then I smoke it till the bacon's crispy, crisp around it. And then I put a certain sauce on it. And I have made, if you can imagine, a lunch tray like you carried when you were a kid, like put your lunch on and you walk out to your table. I have double stacked those, like had those completely full with double stacks of them. And there were only 10 people there. And I mean, those were gone like within 30 minutes. People were just two fisting them. So those are pretty awesome. And if you're not on the heat side, like if you don't like a lot of heat, you can actually take a green pepper. You know how green peppers have those little weird sides, and you can trim them like that and do the same thing with just a green pepper. So that way, if you're, spice sensitive or something like that. So, because my wife is, she doesn't like hot stuff. So, but she loves it with the green pepper. So, always fun to do some things like that. Collard greens. I'm not a collard green guy. I could get one from my mom that would probably blow you away. I can't even stand I don't like the smell of those. And she does rutabagas. Oh, those are vile. Turnip greens or turnips. She'll eat turnips, not just the green, but turnips and rutabagas. When she cooks that shit, I had to leave the house when I was a kid. I cannot stand that smell. It literally makes me sick. Ugh. AR Gun says how use Royal Oak lump coal on a stick smoker. I don't care for my stick smoker. Yeah, you can use lump. The only thing about lump is you just have to be careful with it. Lump burns hotter and it burns longer. Because if you know what lump is, it's actually wood that's been charred down into charcoal. I mean, you can get great flavor from it, but if you're trying to regulate smoke, if you're going to do a fast sear steak, lump is incredible. If you're doing a low and slow, lump is not the way. So You know, that's just my 2 cents. Not saying I'm a professional. I'm not trying to say I'm better than anybody else or any of that. Please don't take it that way. Yeah, not David Letterman. Basically, the cologne, what it is, it's a leather based cologne, and it's pretty amazing. Yes, that is the thing about pellet grills. They are so easy to use. I mean, you can have an app. Um, you can be shit. You can be at work and adjust shit. I mean, I've got buddies who do that all the time, and they love it. So they can put a brisket on in the morning, and by the time they come home in the evening, it's done. But I'm kind of a tinkerer. I like to be a little bit in the groove, so that's why pellets kind of not for me. Yeah, I can imagine Bald. Yeah, he's a home builder. Man, that's crazy. Michael Jordan's cologne smells like sweaty gym shorts. Very expensive. Um, I mean, I'll give you put it this way. I'll turn you on to a cologne that's very inexpensive, and they have multiple scents, and it's very inexpensive. It's called Cremo. 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 They're actually made out of Florida. That's where their headquarters is. So they are U.S. made. Some colognes are not U.S. made, but they are U.S. made. But it's called Cremo. You can actually get this at Walmart, CVS, Amazon. It's like $22 a bottle. It's not expensive. Matter of fact, that's what I'm wearing today, and it's called bourbon and oak. It actually smells pretty good. I wore it. I wore this scent for the first time today, and had like 4 compliments. So if you like bourbon and you like oak, this is probably one of their stronger ones. But it's not expensive. Cremo, Cremo. Deer meat. I eat mostly deer meat that I hunt. It's way more expensive than buying. Yep. But I know it's much healthier for me. Yes. We used to. My uncle had a farm, and I don't know if you've ever heard of it. Some people haven't, but when you hear the name, you'll get it. But it's beefalo. So it's a hybrid, or they mate. So it's a buffalo and beef. Um, it's very, it's less fatty. Um, super. I mean, I love buffalo meat, but it's super. Um, it has a little, well, depending on how they're bred, but it has a little bit of a different taste. But we used to do full cows of beefalo. Um, we haven't done that in a long time because he doesn't have the cows. He sold his part of the farm to his brothers, um, and he's since passed. But anyway, beefalo is an amazing meat. If y'all ever have a chance to have it, and I'm a big venison person. I love deer meat. Period. Um, you know, there's some meats. I've had elk. I like elk. It's not my top favorite, but I've had it. Not big on ostrich. I've had it. I don't really care for it. Bison's good, very good. Um, it can taste gamey depending on how it's cooked, but it's all in the prep work. Also, sweating it. A lot of people might not know what that means, but you can put kosher salt on it, put it in the fridge on a tray, unwrapped, and the kosher salt will actually suck some of the moisture out, and it will actually kind of it's brining is what it is, but it will kind of brine it, and it will actually get kind of a crust on it before you prep it or before you cook it and spice it. But you know, Dennis, I grew up. My dad wore Old Spice when I was a kid, and I love the smell of it. One of my favorite colognes, and it's not expensive either, It's made by Italian Barber. That's the name of the company because I don't know if y'all know this, but I wet shave. I don't use those freaking bullshit cartridges. So I'm a straight razor. I have straight razors and I have wet shaves, the double edge DE blades. So that's the way I shave. The old school lather up. But it's made by Italian Barber and it's called Barber Shave. And it's a cologne they make. It's made in Italy. You can order it from them. They're in small bottles. That smells, if you remember the barbershop smells, that's what it smells like. It is amazing. Um, Not even expensive. I mean, I think for the small bottle, it's like $16, but it is amazing. And it's really, really good. So if anybody wants that. Bastrop, yeah, they have good barbecue there. There's a great barbecue place down the road from my unit in Bastrop that I loved. Husband and wife ran, but he passed away a few years back. That's the bad thing. When the head person passes away, it usually goes to hell. I mean, I've been to Driftwood, so I've been to Salt Lick. The one in Driftwood is better than the one in San Antonio. However, Salt Lick has kind of lost its flair. Franklin's barbecue is awesome in Austin. If you've ever been there, it's really good barbecue, but the line is monstrous. You're going to wait forever. Pistol Pete, I couldn't do a restaurant. I'm not in that restaurant game. And y'all haven't even tried my food. You don't even know. I mean, y'all might be like, yeah, cardiologist. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I saw that. GOA members. Yeah, and I just don't know, Chris. I don't know because you're still like if you ever got popped, you're still gonna have to prove all that and go through all the rigmaroles. So just everybody beware. MPX is yeah, that's a really nice gun. I do like a Bren. CZ Brens are nice. Polo cologne. There's Polo red. I mean, I wore Polo green back in the day. Hell, I think when I was in high school. Yeah, I mean, Polo's good. I like their blue, and they even have a red sport. I have it. It's good. It doesn't last very long though. Not like the old green did. That green, man, the shit would last forever. I'll show my age. If y'all remember Calvin Klein Obsession, man, everybody wore Obsession when I was in school. Oh my god, and we smelled like a bunch. I won't. Never mind. I won't say that, but I don't want. I want to be respectful to if there's any ladies on here, but yeah, we could stink up a joint, man. What's up, Trigger Bar? How are you, man? Yeah, Polo Red's nice. Yeah, that's what I was just talking about. I think we all did. Be like 14 pumps, man. Woo. Yep, Halston. Yep. What was the other one we wore? A lot of us guys in the West, or excuse me, a lot of us guys here in Texas, we wore Stetson. Stetson was a big one too. Old Spice deodorant. Man, what's really crazy is you bring up Old Spice deodorant, Irish Spring, and stuff like that. Um, I got turned on to a soap. I used to use Old Spice and all that other kind of stuff too, but now I use a soap that's made. What the hell's that name of that place? They've got them everywhere, but they make soap. But they've got a man's version that's called it's called Shower or it's called Shave. I think it's called Shave, and it's actually got chunks of loofah that they've chopped up and put in the blend, so it exfoliates your skin. Man, dude, that stuff is awesome. But you can get it at that place. It's not a Bath and Body. It's I forget the name of that damn place. High Karate. Yes, I do remember High Karate. Brute by Fabergé. Yes. Aqua Velvet. Hell yeah, man. Look at this, man. English leather. Damn, Rich B's popping in here, man. Yeah, man, I remember that shit. I know, Red Menace, this is crazy. But see, this is kind of what I'm talking about. I'm kind of giving you a taste of the shit that I'm going to be saying when I'm barbecuing. I'm just going to be talking about goofy shit, and I think it's going to be fun. I think y'all are really going to enjoy it because when I'm barbecuing with my buddies and stuff, we just talk about the goofiest shit, and you know, I think y'all will enjoy it. I could even do some lives where I'm barbecuing. I think that would be fun too. Just couldn't show the guns, but let's see here. Hey, Big J, did you ever take that coyote gun you built in the last year out and do some work? No, the hunt we were going to do in Oklahoma, that one got canceled. So honestly, I have not, I mean, shot any varmints with it. But I mean, I've shot it at the range. To be honest with you, I'm always 1,000% honest. I haven't even dialed in the scope yet. That's how bad. Because with this new job, man, I am traveling so much. I'm doing out of 5 days, 5 days. Friday is basically my in office day. So Monday through Thursday, I've been averaging in 4 days, I've been averaging about 800 miles to 900 miles in 4 days. So I am doing a lot of driving and a lot of traveling. So it's just, that's why the videos haven't been coming out. And I do want to be better about that. So I will, you know, I'm trying to get everything scheduled out. So no, we can make this chat whatever you want. I'm sorry. I just kind of went off on a tangent. That happens sometimes. But no, I definitely want to shoot that gun or, at some distance. I mean, it is a 5.56 223. So, but I did get the wild barrel. Look at that, man. That was 3 shots pretty quick. Um, I did get the wild chambering in that because I do like that a little better for precision, I guess, with the 5.56 223. On my 308, I've got the Oberlanding chamber in my big 308, and that one's pretty damn accurate. And of course, with the 5.56 223, like I've said before, I do prefer 77 grain for accuracy. And then in my 308, I prefer 160, what is it, 165 to, I think it's 165. I think it's 165. Golden or gold medal match or, God dang it, what is it called? Sierra Match King. That is my preferred rounds for those. Yep, Elvis Presley used to be a Brute guy. Yeah, Brute by Fabergé. Yes, Floridian, it is good. I was off for, God, man, almost 6 months. Not working. That was driving me crazy. I mean, it really was. It was driving me crazy. Derek says, I'm in Texas too, Central Texas. How about talk of good gun ranges? My favorite in the neck of the woods is Copperhead Creek in Marble Falls. Huge outdoor place, Shady Oaks and Cedar Park Outdoors. I have never been there. I mean, I've been to Marble Falls many times. A friend of ours have a lake house out there, but I've never been to those facilities. I don't travel and go to a bunch of gun ranges, but I've done on some of my past videos. If you go back, I've done some gun store walkthroughs and stuff like that. Yes, I do have a friend, Brian, that has the Jackal and does really like it. So if that helps, but yeah, I mean, I think that's a good option. Uh, on which rifle? Are you talking about on the 5.56? I believe that one is a 1 and 8. That one's an 18-inch, and then on my 308, I believe it is a 1 and 11. I believe it's a precision barrel. Most of my 308s are 1 and 10, but I believe this one is a 1 and no. Actually, I think it's a 1 and 9 on my precision one. You could look it up. It's a Lancer L30 heavy metal. Don't look at the price, but It's a Lancer L30 heavy metal. Pistol Pete says Threat Cadre been putting out some good training info. Yes, he has. We talk quite a bit. I think we talk like once or twice a week. Yeah, he's a really good guy, wealth of knowledge. I personally don't know his buddy that he's done a couple of chats with. Seems like a really nice guy. I just personally don't know him. Haven't met him in person. But yeah, those guys, I mean, they know what they're doing. You know, they've done it, been there and done it. So, have you tried the primary machine barrels for the PO7 and PO9? And did they need fitting? No, they do not need fitting. You're going to get a little bit of wear on them, but I'm just going to say this. I will say this, and I am not knocking their barrels at all. The only reason I would buy their barrel is if I needed a threaded barrel. If I needed a threaded barrel for a comp or for a suppressor, I would buy their barrel. However, the factory barrel, in my opinion, is more accurate than their barrel. So that's what I'll say. They make good products, but I would only buy it. I would only buy it for if you needed a threaded barrel. It's the only reason I'd buy it. If you don't need a threaded barrel, keep your factory barrel. Your factory barrel is cold hammer forged. It's legit. So no reason to change it. Yeah, CZ makes some really, really good barrels. That's one thing like CZ, even Glock Gen 5s make good barrels. Um, and FN makes really good barrels. I mean, think about it. You know, on the FN rifle, or the most people really like the FN 556 barrels when they can get them if they're building something. But FN makes a hell of a barrel too. And staccato barrels are really nice. I mean, I don't notice. I'm not the most accurate person in the world anymore because I've got that trimmer. That just happens with age. Nothing's wrong with me. You know, but like I said, staccato barrels are accurate. The MPA barrels are super accurate. Um, I mean, if you get the OG barrel, it's not going to be an accuracy problem like it used to be way back when. The old M&Ps, like the 1.0s on the full size, they sucked. I mean, they some of them could even keyhole. And I told you on my 1.0 M&P full size, I had a freaking feed ramp, a chunk of the feed ramp break off. Now they replaced the barrel. Um, it was shooting like dog shit. I mean, with all kinds of ammo. And then once they replaced the barrel, but it was a barrel issue on their end. It wasn't, you know, I was thinking, golly, man, do I suck this bad? Yeah, the night I agree with you. That titanium nitride does look cool, but you know, and I'm all about I love looks. You know, I like to make stuff my own. But I have tried those barrels, and they were I don't think they were as accurate as the factory barrels. I mean, I even rested one, you know, on the bench at the range, um, and it wasn't as accurate as the factory barrel, in my opinion. Yeah, Steyr makes good stuff too, and the Arex, you know, is a great gun. Um, but yeah, I mean, you know, if everybody's on here, let me know what you think about the barbecue videos. Would you watch them? Would you tune in for a whiskey review? Would you tune in for like a barbecue gun review while I'm cooking? Would y'all want to see what I'm cooking, how I trim the briskets, how I trim the ribs? Um, you know, membrane, no membrane on the ribs. Um, you know, there's some special binders I use that help get you really intense smoke rings. You know, would y'all be interested in stuff like that? I mean, I've got CZ barrels. No joke. I have CZ barrels that have, I guarantee you that shadow, my my tricked out orange shadow, that thing has probably 8,000 plus rounds through it, and it still is accurate. I mean, way more accurate than I am. And I don't even scrub it and do all that, remove the copper and, put your little patch in there and run it back and forth. I am not a patch guy. I was a patch guy way back in the day when I first started shooting guns. I was like the one that had to be all meticulous and all that shit. Now I run bore snakes through my guns, and I do 3 times. I'm just weird about that. I run 3 bore snakes, run it through 3 times. That's it. And my barrels are fine. So even for rifles, people are like, oh, you got to get the proper break in and all this other stuff, and you got to do all that shit. Shoot it. Go shoot the damn thing. I'm not trying to shoot the wings off a fly. That's just not me. Now, I know there's people that are probably going to disagree with me that are precision shooters, but I'm just not that guy. Well, and like I said, it's Big J's Pit Stop, so y'all can go over there and subscribe to it. And like I said, I'm going to be throwing some videos on there, hopefully soon. I'll give you a little sneak peek. I'll show you one thing that I've gotten. The smart Wi-Fi. So this is a smart Wi-Fi barbecue thermometer. It's got multiple probes in it. So you can check your grill temp. You can check your temp at the butt, the tip. So you can put two probes in your brisket. So your fat side, your point side temperature, and you want them evened. These will help you flip it or know when to flip it, or excuse me, know when to wrap it. Now you can do the same thing with a regular meat probe, and you don't have to buy the most expensive thermometer. Just a regular probe you stick in your pocket or your apron and check it. You don't have to have these things. Back in the day, we didn't have these things. So, and there's a certain way I check my ribs to know that they're ready. And I'll explain some of the tips that I use, things like that. There's a 3-2-1 method. I'm not going to get into it. I want to save it for the video. There's multiple ways to do ribs. You can do Carolinas. There's certain cuts on there that you can do. You always want to go against the grain. Don't ever cut anything with the grain. When you're cutting, I bought a brand new set of barbecue knives because my other knives, I could probably have them sharpened, but that's, screw that. I probably do need to go. I'm going to need more than, I've got about, I think 6 or 7 really high quality barbecue knives, but I went ahead and bought another set. They're not cheap, but and there's something, the way that you cut your meat, you never want to knock the bark off. And if you use a dull knife or not the correct knife, you will actually destroy your bark on a brisket, ribs, things like that. So there's certain ways to cut it so you don't damage your bark. So I'm just going to talk about some things like that. I think it'll be fun. It'll be good for me. I enjoy doing that stuff. I've actually done plenty of cooks since I've started this channel. Never shown one. Like I said, I think it'll be fun. I ate chicken, no meat. Nothing wrong with chicken. Chicken's good. I will say this. I'm not a huge fish guy. I like catfish, fried catfish, and I do like salmon, blackened salmon, but I don't really cook a lot of fish. My wife doesn't like it, so I don't really cook a bunch of fish. I know how to cook it, I just don't really mess with it. So if you're coming for the fish, that's not me. uh, Gonna soak my PO7 barrel in vinegar, then polish it instead of buying the P machine one. Yeah, they're actually, what you can do is you can soak it in vinegar. You can also hook a battery up to it. I'm not going to tell you how to do it because I don't want you to burn your house down, but you can electro kind of static it to give it some color, if that's what you're looking for. Yeah, Texas Gun Experience does sharpen knives. Yes, they do. Take your knives in there, they'll sharpen them for you. Yep. Sometimes when I'm in there, I'll drop my pocket knife off, have them sharpen it because I carry a pocket knife every day, sometimes multiple ones. and I'll just drop it off while I'm walking around the store. They'll sharpen it, and then I'll go pick it up. Now, if you buy a knife from them, if you buy it there, it's like free sharpening for life, I think. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So, oh wow. Father-in-law recently passed away and left wife the old Smith& Wesson Model 10 38 Special that had spent decades in a shoebox. Hardly ever shot, chock full of dust. Cleaned it up and it shot great. Awesome trigger. Man, that's awesome, dude. Um, I've got one of those that Smith& Wesson did before they had their performance shop. It's like a pre Smith& Wesson performance. That's awesome, man. Yeah, I like tuna. I do like tuna. Oh man, boar snakes, dude. I've got thousands of cleanings out of boar snakes, and you don't have to buy their Pit Viper one. You know, their premium one. I just use the basic ones. They work great. And yes, you can throw them in the washing machine. But I will tell you this: I've never cleaned one. I've never put one of mine in the washing machine. I know my friends have because they're just anal like that. But and they last forever. Never had a problem. Yeah. Hell, I could show you one now, and you'd be like, "How the hell do you get that through a gun?" Now, if it's completely fraying and stuff, you don't want to leave any of that in your gun. But you know, I've never had a problem with them. Mine kind of fray a little bit, but not to where it's going to come apart. But I've never had a problem with them. Oh, and I did get a new knife not too long ago. I don't know if y'all want to see it, but it's actually a really nice knife. It's kind of it's called a Scorpion. It's a pretty nice knife. I mean, they're not cheap, but I mean, it's perfectly in the center. The point's awesome. The pivot's awesome. I'm not a knife. I mean, I'm not doing a knife review, but it's a really nice knife. It's kind of like a Microtech because some of the Microtechs, some of them don't fit my hand good because my hand's so damn big. This one fits my hand beautifully. A little heavy, but I do like the way it's set up. You want to see it? I have my knives displayed over here on the rack. My main ones. I don't know how well you can see it. Um, it is, you can see like the really nice. I'll line it up and show it to you here real quick. So it's got the perfect center. I just wanted to show you this real quick. So you can just walk it down. It just closes. Um, Now, and it's not even broken in yet. It's fairly new. But I mean, I can, with the flipper. But it's a really nice knife. They're not cheap, but they are nice. And it's kind of got a little bit of carbon fiber. Not huge carbon fiber guy, but it does have a really nice clip right here, if you can see it. And you can flip it to the other side if you want, if you're a lefty. Um, but yeah, it's a really nice knife. So, but the bad thing is when I buy the super expensive ones, I lose them sometimes. So, uh, yeah, and I'm not as much into knives as I am guns. Great gun. PX4 Storm Compact is a great gun. Great gun. I just can't get my hands on it. It's too short for me. But if you're looking at it, I highly recommend it. You will really like it. Um, so, I highly recommend it. Even the PX4 full size is actually too short for my hand. It catches right here at the bottom. But the rotating barrel, I mean, they're great guns. Yeah, it is similar to a ZT, kind of like a ZT and a Microtech. Yes, it is. Chief Super Bowl. Born and raised in Texas. I do like my Cowboys, but Big Mahomes fan, Texas Tech. Bunch of money. I gave him a bunch of money. So my kiddo actually went to school with Patrick Mahomes. So had multiple classes with him. Really nice guy. So yes, I am a big Chiefs fan. Yeah, this clip on this one is no joke either. It's as good as a mic. I mean, I'm not. I don't own a Microtech. I had one of their early ones. I can't remember the name of it. It was the little out the front one. It was the not the bigger one, but the small one, and I lost the damn thing. Yeah, I mean, I hear you, Pistol Pete. I grew up, you know, born and raised in Texas. I played football my whole life. I mean, uh, I've got I played I played for the state championship, and I'll probably give away the school, but so you'll know where I played for. But I played my senior year, or excuse me, my 11th grade year. Yeah, my 11th grade year, we played Odessa Permia. If y'all are familiar with them, Friday Night Lights, you can watch that movie or that show. We played against Odessa Permia in the old original Texas Stadium before they blew it up. And we won the state championship there. Um, and I had two quarterback sacks. So hang on. Okay, let me put my hand here. Okay, Al Bundy. I'm just joking. But yeah, had two quarterback sacks and had two solo quarterback sacks. And anyway, we won the state championship. So that's probably going to give away where I went to school. But anyway, so played in the original Texas Stadium. So yes, I've been playing football since I was, or played football, not now. I played football, started at like 7 years old, and played senior. That was 11th grade. Senior played senior, and then 3 months into the first season, no, excuse me, 2 months into my senior season, I blew my knee out, had to have reconstructive surgery, orthoscopic and open, and then tore this shoulder apart and have to have orthoscopic and open. I don't know if you can see the scar, it goes all the way. There's a big old ass scar right there. Had to rebuild this one, rotator cuff, bicep tendon, and lateral joint. So I was done. Didn't get any college offers. So no, Brannick, I agree with you. I've said that forever. Brent or Scorpion? Brent all day long. Brent all day long. Lifelong Chiefs fan, and Mahomes is unreal. I pray he stays the way he is. Seems like such a good kid. Yeah, his brother is a freak. Jackson is an idiot, a complete idiot, and his wife is a nut too. My kid talked about her, so she's a nutcase. But sorry I kind of went off on that thing. I've got an idea, so I wanted to run it by you and see what y'all thought about it. I appreciate all the input. Hopefully, it's something that you're into. I will say this, and this is some things I was going to talk about. When I do talk about on the channel or the Big J's pit stop, not all charcoal is made the same. Okay, I will tell you that. Also, there's some charcoal I guarantee you everybody uses. It's a huge brand. It actually produces toxins. So when you fire up your charcoal, and there's a certain way, I don't use any lighter fluid. I am not a lighter fluid person because you can always taste it in the meat. I don't like gas. I don't cook with gas. I have in the past, but I hate it because I can always taste it. Um, So I don't use any lighter fluid. There's a certain way I do my fires. Um, Also, the charcoal, it puts off gas, like a toxic gas. Matter of fact, if you, it's a I can't ever say it. Carcinogen. It's a carcinogen. There's some companies, and I'm not going to name the name because I don't want to slander anybody, but the company who owns them also owns Clorox. We'll just leave it at that. But it actually puts off some pretty toxic fumes. So when you light it, you don't want to breathe it if you use that brand. And that's some other stuff I do not use. So, I was going to talk about that kind of stuff. Your average person that's just grilling up a steak or something like that doesn't know that. I'm not trying to beat a brand up or anything like that, but you can taste it in the meat versus other charcoals. So there's certain stuff I use that, and brands uh, that I won't use. So if y'all are interested in that. Let's see here. Pistol Pete is using Kingsford tonight. I'll just go ahead and tell you. That's the one I was talking about. I'm into barbecue, Texas, KC, Memphis, Carolina. Yeah, and they're all different. So that's another thing. I do a lot of Texas stuff. Nothing wrong with the others. Hell, I've had great barbecue in Kansas City and stuff, but Texas is more rub based. Other places are more sauce based. And that's the thing. I like to get the flavor out of the meat, not so much out of the sauce, because just gonna tell you, this is probably the Texan in me, but you can put sauce on a dog turd and make it taste good. So, not trying to hate on anybody, but I like to taste the meat. Then, if you want to sauce it, hey, go for it. Well, I'm not steering you wrong. You can actually look it up. They have OSHA, everything that's made, you can actually go on and look at. They have to have a OSHA report. It's required, and it actually states it in there. And the one I was talking about is Kingford. So, and you can look it up. I'm not making this up. It's true. There's some other ones that have a hint of it, but Kingsford is the worst. Um, but I'll show you what I use. I don't want to give everything away. I want to give everything away. Uh, Put it this way. The other day I went and bought. I was just stocking up on stuff, but I went and bought 2 bags of my preferred charcoal, and I bought some wood, my preferred flavors. Um, so, like I said, I think when and before, probably the first video will be here's what I prefer. Not saying you can use whatever you want. I will tell you this: don't ever use any of that match light bullshit. That stuff is loaded with lighter fluid. Don't use that crap. Um, I'm a chimney guy, so I build all my own fires natural. I don't use any lighter fluid at all. I don't like it. You can use some propane if you want to, like a propane starter. You could do that if you want to, because that burns off really quick. But lighter fluid does not. So, but like I said, I think I'll, save a lot of that stuff. I showed you one of my pits, or the small grill pit that I had a guy make for me 20, oh, what is it? Shit, 30 years ago. Um, you won't find one like that because it's made out of a tractor tire, an antique tractor tire. Um, it's got horseshoes on it, so it's always good luck there. But that's been a really great grill. I just left it out in the weather and then let it patina, but it's painted now. Y'all probably won't recognize it now. The wife said no on the patina. I was like, damn. But anyway, it's painted now. So, and I just hit it with barbecue paint. Nothing special. It's not powder coated or any of that kind of crap. Um, but anyway, so that one's been painted. But I've got a big patio out here in the back. I'm actually going to section off part of it and line the grills up, and I'll have a cutting table eventually. Uh, I think it's going to be a lot of fun though. So, and we will have the bourbon and the whiskey. They are different. People think bourbon and whiskey are the same, but they are different. But we will have that and, some good times. Like I said, if you want to tune in, I think it'll be fun. What ammo, 9mm ammo do I carry? I carry HST 124 non plus P. I don't need plus P. Um, Not saying if you carry it, that's bad. Carry what you want. But I kind of like the middle of the road. 147 is good, but I want something with a little more speed. And then 115 is really fast. So I kind of think the 124 is the sweet spot. And way back in the day, even before YouTube, we shot frozen pig heads. I did a little test on my own. That's the one that worked for me. So that's what I use. There's probably other great ammo out there. I know there is. You've got Bonded, you've got Wilson Combat owns Lehigh Defense. Lehigh Defense is no joke. It's good stuff. I've shot it before. But HST 124 has just always been a really great ammo for me, and I've never had an issue with it. So, yeah, I just deleted his ass. Sorry about that. Yeah, they have some. They have the pre-light, and then the other stuff just has some gunk in it. Yeah, plus B, like I said. Yeah. It also depends on what caliber. I mean, if I'm carrying 380 nowadays, or if I was going to carry a 380, I'd only use full metal jacket. I wouldn't even use hollow points for a 380 personally. I need it to go through multiple layers of coat, clothes, whatever, and that way you'll get a little more depth. I mean, it's going to, definitely go deeper with a full metal jacket than a hollow point. That's just my opinion. But it is 8:16. We'll jump off. I think Bald was going to do a chat. I don't want to. I don't want to stop about. Also on 45 ACP, I use HST 230 grain, and I do have some. That's my preferred round for 45. I do have some Lehigh Defense for my 45 also, but I usually use the HST 230 grain. Plus P means more pressure, so um, basically any plus P or plus P or plus P plus, what it does is inside the chamber you have more of an explosion. So you're going to get a little more feet per second, things like that. Most guns can handle plus P, but over a longer period of time, plus P can end up damaging a barrel. It would take a long, long time, but it's just more pressures inside of the chamber. So, and with 9mm having multiple rounds like I carry, 20 plus rounds in some guns, I just don't find that I need plus P. That's just a personal thing. But, if you want to carry plus P or if you're carrying a single stack, then if plus P is for you, but it can put more wear on a gun. I mean, you can Google it. There's been all kinds of stuff about it. If you just shoot plus P all the time, it just puts more wear and tear on your gun. Yeah. I mean, people like to talk. There's nothing wrong with that. What's crazy is that, like in my Glock 17L, the long barrel, that thing's 6 inches. I think, and I heard this, I don't know if it's true, but I heard you could put a 115 in there, and with the velocity coming out, it turns it into a plus P, like a plus P or plus P plus. I don't know if that's true, but I heard that, and I was like, wow, I could imagine it with, 6 inch barrel. So, and a lot of people do carry plus P in their revolvers. Revolvers, man, if you look at them, they're thick and chunky and got the big cylinders and all that stuff. Not saying a semi-automatic couldn't handle it, but it just does create more pressure in the chamber. But like I said, it's not your gun's not going to blow up unless it's way overcharged, like a reload or something. But we will go ahead and shut it down. It's 8:19 my time. But I appreciate y'all so much. I'm really looking forward to doing this other little adventure. I think it'll be fun. I think y'all will get a kick out of it, and especially if my buddy comes over, we'll tell some fun stories um, of when we were younger. I mean, we've got stories. Oh my gosh, the stuff we did, and probably shouldn't even say it on the air, but I think you'll get a kick out of it. I don't know how far we're going to take it with what we're going to say. Um, I've got a family, he's got a family, but you know what I mean. But we weren't nothing. I wouldn't say anything like crazy illegal. But if it was, it's been past 7 years, so I'm sure we're good. But yeah, I think it'll be fun. And plus, yeah, the Prodigy. Um, I mean, I've played with one. I had a hang up on one of the earlier ones. It was hanging on the God. What is the name of that damn thing? My brain is fried. Sorry. Um, like when you'd rack it back, it was kind of hanging up a little bit. You can. I think the Prodigy is probably a good entry level. It's not as refined. It does have a lot of MEM parts. That's metal injection molded. They're not billet or forged or anything like that. It's the cheapest quality to get you into one. If you change out the ignition system with, EGW and stuff like that, or even staccato, by the time you're done with that, you're in staccato prices because you're taking out all the MEM stuff. But if you want an entry level 2011, I mean, I think it's a good option. The prices have came down on them a lot. I mean, it's a very inexpensive 2011, but I mean, they also are all steel, so you can't get the aluminum option like you can on the staccato. So that it is it's definitely heavier. But I mean, I have some friends who have them, and some of them run perfectly. They didn't at first, but since they ran them more and more and more, they run better. And pretty much, I wouldn't. I don't want to say they don't have any problems, but the mags that they come with suck. So I would only run them with staccato mags at least. The disconnector, yes, Pistol Pete, thank you. It is the disconnector. They hang on the disconnectors. A lot of them do. The 4.5 inch is better than the 5, from what the earlier reports were. And I've got a buddy who has both. And his 4.25 did a lot better than his 5 inch right out of the box. So, but I mean, it's an option, and then if you want to do some changes on it, you can. All of that stuff is readily available through EGW. You can change triggers, you can change sear, you can change everything in it, but it's just going to cost you a lot more money. So if you want to buy once, cry once, get a staccato. If not, get the Springfield, and then see how it runs for you. But I love my MPAs. Can't say enough about them. They're incredible guns. And all of my staccatos have been great, but as y'all know, the first C2 I had that had 5,000 rounds through it, the frame warped, but they replaced it with a brand new gun. So, I mean, they stood behind their lifetime warranty, so that's what I want. And I'm probably a little biased, but Staccato is a Texas company, and I'm born and raised in Texas, so the money's staying here. So that's not trying to say I don't send money to other states, but I definitely want to keep it here if possible. So, but I appreciate y'all so much. Y'all have a wonderful night. Love your family, love one another, and I hope you do tune into the barbecues and stuff like that. I think we're gonna have a good time, and I'm looking forward to it. I've got a bunch of other stuff back here that I've ordered behind me. I just don't want to drag everything out on the chat, but we'll set some grills up, some things I recommend. Probably a lot of y'all might even have some of these grills already. I've already talked to another company about seeing if they want to jump in. I will be talking to my meat guy, see if he wants to jump in. Have a good time with it. Everything will still be honest. I'm not going to bullshit anybody. If something's bad, I'm going to tell you it's bad. So any of this gear that I'm going to be testing, if something takes a shit's the bed, I'm going to tell you about it. I keep everything 100%. So, but y'all have a great night. Go eat, go love your family, and we will do this again next Wednesday. And I will be local, so I'm going to be from the house again next week. So we will be doing another chat. I won't be on the road again next week. So this gives me a couple of weeks local. But y'all have a great night, and we will do this again next Wednesday. And remember, an unarmed nation is a very weak nation, so we all got to carry on. Thanks, everyone. Y'all take care.